Now, the macroeconomic risk scorecard, to me, is one of the most important weekly to monthly scorecards that I track, because right off the bat, you can see what the potential risk of an incoming recession is using 7 different models. So, using our own model, which is model 1, and then using model 2, which is using a GDP 2-quarter rule. Model 3 is using an inversion of a yield curve. 4 is the established Sahm rule, which has a reputation of being fairly accurate. And credit stress is metric 5. Using the National Bureau of Economic Research and leading indicators is metrics is model 6. And then 7 is a combination using a composite score of the 6 different models. So right now you could see that our own model and the Sahm rule model are the only two that are considering a recession to be moderately risky, right? And that's important because we want to get an edge. We want to be able to be a leading sign of a potential recession, and you can granularly see this from a score of 0 to 100. And if you track this on a monthly basis, you'll be able to see. And let's change this to the S&P 500. You'll be able to see past recessions. So the most recent recession that we had was during COVID. So that was back in March and April of 2020. And you can see that in a small red fill there. But the more sustained was the global financial crisis. That was in 2008. And you could see how long it ran. But you could see that the different models, how they were beginning to trend up several months ahead of time, right? And when they started hitting, so if you see this, severe risk, high risk, moderate risk, low risk, and minimal risk. So whenever it started hitting above 60, it was considered high risk. And you could see that very clearly when it started hitting 60, right? And so you can get a multi-month advance notice. That's the whole entire point of the macroeconomic risk scorecard. It also allows you to be able to see individually what is the consumer sentiment, what is the M2 money supply, M1 and M3, what is the unemployment rate, what is the current yield curve when you look at the 10-year versus the 2-year, right? And then what are the financial stress conditions? Like, what does the U.S. actually look like when you look at the corporate spread, right? When you look at the volatility index, when you look at all of these important macroeconomic and also liquidity metrics, what do you see?